welcome to my channel. This is the Finance Sister, and my name is Anna, and this is my channel where we talk about everything related to money and having a balanced lifestyle. I wanted to show you an actual breakdown of how I personally determined how much we should have in our savings based off of our actual monthly expenses, and basically something that's going to prepare us for when emergencies do happen, especially in times like this where COVID-19 is a crisis. People are losing their jobs or there's reduced pay for income, etc. So there's a couple different factors that go into what you personally should have in your emergency fund. But I know that if you follow anything along the lines of Dave Ramsey, he suggests that while you're paying off debt, you only keep $1,000 in your emergency fund, and then you build it up to 3 to 6 months of your living expenses after that. But if you've been following that and you're starting to question that's really not enough for something like this and it's caused you to get into a bind, that's completely up to you to reevaluate. But I'm just going to say this is for across the board how much you should have in an emergency fund in general, given your specific situation. Before I show you our exact expenses and how I got to what we are at, I want you to think about your personal situation, your household income, if you have a single or a dual income household, because that's going to dictate how much or how comfortable you should feel with a certain lump sum of money. So basically, if you have 3 kids, single household income, you are depending on one person to provide for your family in any given situation, then maybe you're going to want to have a larger emergency fund or buffer than someone who has 2 people working outside of the home. Maybe they don't have any kids or they just have 1 kid. And you know that if something were to happen, you could pile up cash pretty quickly. Or if you have a sizable income and if there was a job loss and you have living expenses that are significantly below what your actual income is, then that would also be, that's another scenario where you could probably get by on having a lower emergency fund. You want to be able to find the line between having way too much in savings where it's just sitting there, it's not making you any money, versus having too little to where it's not actually going to get you through the stretches of seasons where you're not making enough or you're not bringing enough in, or the job loss or family emergencies, illness, things like that. Now I'm going to show you exactly how you can actually create an emergency fund savings in contrast to what you actually spend per month and what you put towards savings, because those things are very different. Your emergency fund does not need to include all of the expenses that you normally would spend in a given month, because quite a few of those, I'm guessing, you could either have cut down or they're going to be eliminated completely. So these are our actual monthly expenses. And really quick, this is actually an Excel spreadsheet that I created with pre-formatted formulas. So if you would like to purchase this, it's on Etsy for $5. And it has income, expenses, and savings categories, which I'm not going to show exactly right now, because not everything that we have is blocked out. And I would like to have our income remain anonymous and somewhat unknown. So these are our expenses, and as you can see in the budgeted category, this is what our normal expenses would be on any given month, and that's what we would allocate to spend. But in case of an emergency, those numbers can look drastically different. So I'm going to show you how we cut out approximately $700 a month. Just in case we needed to, we could actually cut that amount of money out, and therefore that decreases the monthly income that we would need to survive if one of us lost our income, or if we needed to drastically cut back for some reason. We know that we could. So for rent, utilities, Wi-Fi, and renter's insurance, those are pretty much guaranteed fixed expenses. So those are not going to change. That's not exactly the first place I would start to try to reduce your expenses. However, you can call utility companies, especially in times of a crisis or pandemic. You can negotiate or maybe just even call and ask if you can get a lower rate or a different plan that would reduce your monthly cost. So I know that quite a few people have been doing that, and utility companies are pretty understanding, especially if it's on a global scale like it is currently. We spend approximately $2,000, a little bit over that, on our rent, utilities, Wi-Fi, and renter's insurance. For transportation, that is also something that would go down. So $300 is normally what we would allocate since my husband commutes. I work from home, but we do a fair amount of driving anyways, just doing like short little road trips or hiking on the weekends. But if we needed to, we could cut that down. And especially if you have someone who lost their job or maybe they're working from home right now instead of going to the office, that's a good chunk of money that you're going to be saving just because you're not commuting anymore. You don't have that expense that's associated with going to a job. For groceries, eating out, alcohol, things like that, those are probably the biggest areas that most people are going to be able to save money if they choose to do so. So I know just because we've actually lived on approximately $250 a month going towards groceries before, that we absolutely could do that. So I'm saying that we would be able to spend $300 on groceries and not eat out and not buy any alcohol if we absolutely needed to. We're able to save approximately $250 just in food per month if we really wanted to, which some would argue, why don't you do that now? Well, we have before in the past when we were paying off a lot of debt, and that's just something that we both really enjoy, so we choose to spend more money on food and going out. So personal funds, there's two of us, but obviously this could change if you're a single person, that there would only be one line item for that anyways. We don't need to be spending anything on ourselves personally if we're in crisis mode, or if there is a chance that we would be going over or having to go into debt in order to cover our expenses. We don't need anything. We have everything that we could possibly need. So cell phone bill, that's also a fixed expense for most people. That's not a place that I would be cutting out, but maybe there are ulterior options for you to cut down on your cell phone bill by switching to a different provider or switching different plans or reducing your data usage. For any kind of subscriptions or TV network things, you could cut those out immediately if you needed to. We personally don't actually pay for Hulu, Netflix, Disney Plus, anything like that. And entertainment, we're not budgeting anything for that. Anyways, at the moment, we have that in different savings if we want to do something bigger, but otherwise that just kind of comes out of our miscellaneous fund if something last minute pops up. So I will keep $100 in there as miscellaneous expense, even factored into our emergency fund, because things will come up and you want to be able to make sure that you do have a little bit of a buffer even in those cases. So even though we spend approximately closer to $3,500 a month for normal living expenses, that's not an amount that we have to have in case of an emergency, and that's what I'm trying to communicate. So we could actually live off of $2,700 a month if we needed to. So that is the number that you would multiply by a certain amount of months, whatever makes you feel comfortable. For us, I think for us, it's going to be closer to around 4 or 5 months is going to be a very comfortable emergency fund for us. And that's what we're going to do. We are saving up, since I am 8 months pregnant right now, to just make sure we have enough money if some unexpected baby costs come up. So we're just piling up cash anyways. But if you have a single income household, then maybe you want to go a little bit heavier on your emergency fund, because you'd have more risk associated with only one person bringing in money. And so I think having closer to 6 to 8 months maybe might not be a bad idea. So you're going to want to have a little bit more in savings if you don't have a job that is essential. So I hope that gives you a good idea of how much you should have in savings. So all I would do is multiply whatever that number is right here for what you would actually need in case of an emergency. You can use this number if you want to. Just know that you will have a little bit extra if you're able to say no to certain expenditures when you actually do get to the point where you need to not be making as many purchases and incurring so many expenses during a certain period of time. Thank you so much for watching, and please comment below with any questions that you have on how much you think you should have in your emergency fund. And don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell button for future notifications on when more videos are posted.